Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Knott's Grand Adventure. Finally, I got my new graphics card, so now I can actually record in this park once again. I'm getting a solid 13 FPS paused, and it's about 11 unpaused. So, not too bad. It's not ideal, of course, but whatever. This is a big park. So let's go over all the things that I have done when I was not recording. So, I don't remember what I showed off last time, so if I've already done these, I'm sorry. Alright, so Accelerator Station has been lowered, and it has a back spike that's twisted now, because I didn't feel like building custom supports, and these ones were already done. Thank you. Next. Alright, there's a little Q building now. It's supposed to be a gas station. And in front of it, there is a lowrider, because that's the only classic style looking car that we have right now, so that will have to do. And these are some gas pumps that I got off the Steam Workshop. And this right here is supposed to be like the service station, and in the middle I'm going to have like some like pallets and stuff, and maybe some car parts on the wall. Haven't figured that out yet. I don't really know what I'm going to do for car parts, since it's not exactly an asset in the game unless I get like the Monsters DLC, and I don't really have a need for it, so I don't think I'm going to get it. I don't know a lot of people that have that DLC, actually. Alright, over here we have coasters. I got to take advantage of the lovely diner set that came out in the World's Fair pack. And I really like how this turned out for the most part. It's not perfect. The pieces are kind of stuck to their ways. I actually had to make this with 2 buildings because otherwise it just would have been too boxy, and boxy is bad. I'm trying not to do boxy. Excuse me. So yeah, I have this going all the way around. Right here, it's gonna go off in that direction, and I think I can kind of just fill that in with this section. There's a staff building right here through that door. The interior is kind of stupid. You kind of have to use your imagination, because if you were to walk through these doors, it's just counter. There's no actual room in here, and you can't actually get to this. I'm not going to have it filled with people, because I feel like if I do, they're just going to walk through walls, and that's annoying. So that right there will just be an empty interior. It's a facade, basically. I haven't done anything with this. I haven't done anything with this, I don't think. I gave it those fancy looking supports that don't exactly line up properly, because they're supposed to go over that section, and they don't. They go over the top. But what can you do? Over here I added a nice little gazebo and some restrooms. I also plopped this bad boy down. I don't think it's going to stay, though. I think I might end up adding the Grand Carousel over here once that's added. I really want to have a carousel in this park at some point, and I think this is a good area for it. My other idea is to put it over in the Fiesta Village area, but to be honest, that area has too many rides as it is. It's not really balanced, so I'll probably end up putting it here. In this blank section, I want to add a restaurant, because this place desperately needs more food options, because there's not anything right here. Right here is just some restrooms, the little gazebo that I believe is from the vintage pack, and I think there's some food over here with coasters, but there needs to be food everywhere, all over the place. Food all over the place. Alright, let's head over here into Ghost Town, or Calico. What did I call you? Calico. It's just Calico. I apologize if I already went over this ride, but I ended up redoing a lot of, I think it's Renegade Run. I pretty much redid it entirely. I only kept a few small sections, and now the launch goes this direction instead of that direction. The launch track isn't long enough. I admit that. I would actually like it to start probably over here, but if I did that, I'd have to completely redo the log flume, and I've already had to redo that slightly, where it has this whole underground section before it hits the lift. The train does stop here, which is kind of annoying. I would like it to just blast through it, but the block section won't allow it because of the way that it's timed, because it won't. That train that's in there won't go until a train clears that block. This train can sit here. I don't really care about that, but I've tried shortening the ride. I've tried lowering sections so that it finishes it quicker. So as you can see, that train right there is going into the tunnel block, and it stopped. And then that one right there is hitting that. And now that one will start to go very, very slowly. And then that train should go in a second. So that happens, they do their thing, and then a really, really cool moment happens right here that I didn't plan on, but I'm really happy about it, which kind of makes me not want to tweak the ride at all, because if the train doesn't stop for the launch, then this moment doesn't happen. And there's that beautiful moment. Love it. I think I already went over this ride, so sorry. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Alright, let's go over here to Maverick. So, I had an idea about redoing the layout, and then I decided not to do it. So, I'm not going to redo the layout. My idea was to have it exit this way, and then have the lift more in this direction. And then I would pretty much just do the same thing. It wouldn't really do anything different. I think maybe I thought I could have it connect here instead, and that be the first element, and then go into a smaller loop, and then go into a 0G, but really, I don't see a point in doing that. One change that I did make was I got rid of the Cobra roll, because as much as I wanted one, I don't think that it really worked with the layout. Sorry, Alex, you did a good job on the Cobra roll, but in the end, I just wasn't happy with it. It's not your fault. I just really wanted a Helix because I was jonesing for Raptor, because I love Raptor's Helix before the mid-course. So I slapped down a nice Helix right here. Takes it with some pretty good speed. It's about to do it right now. Yeah, it'd be a pretty intense Helix. And then it goes into the mid-course, and everything is the same. I've been trying to do a little bit of smoothing on this to make it better, and it hasn't been going that well. I'd end up having to redo track pieces, so I might have to do that to make it better than it is. Over here, I have not done anything except I went into the station. Oh, those are sticking out. You know what? That's fine. I'll do something with that. And I added a front row only queue. If you want the front row on this. Guests will, of course, just glitch right through these. Well, not glitch. They'll just... These aren't solid objects. They're scenery. They have no physics to them. They will just do whatever. Then I have the little operator's booth, but I think I already had that last time, which I really like. One of these things would be like a gate that opens up. Kind of want to do more things like that. Alright, over here is where the Sky Tower used to be, and now it's over there because I thought the area was cramped and there should be a food place over here. So I'm going to redo that. Over here, I have repositioned this and the restrooms, and this thing barely clears the log flume, and it's beautiful. I'm not going to show it though, because I don't want this to be an hour-long video. Over here, with Cosmic Timbers, I have redone it basically entirely. Instead of the lift going that direction, it now runs this direction. And it goes around the Sky Tower, because I was jonesing for some Gold Striker, because that is a good wooden coaster. So now the drop and this part kind of follows a bit more of a Gold Striker thing. And then it pretty much does the same layout as it was. except that I changed the ending up. The whole ride is basically a lot quicker. I didn't like how it lost a lot of its speed, so I tried to just make the lift hill obviously the tallest part, and then have everything else just be significantly shorter, at least half the height. And I did, and overall, I don't want that tree. I like the ride a lot better. Let's see. 6 moments of airtime, negative 2.57. That is ejector airtime. And all the G's are in check. So yay, that is a good thing. Over here in not Calico. Calico's over there. In Camp Snoopy, I have done nothing. Next, Fiesta Village. I've done some custom supporting over here. This one right here is entirely custom, and it goes through these buildings, and I've decided that that's fine. Just work around it. Over here at La Chupacabra, I have extended the layout a lot. Again, I'm sorry if I have already done this, but I don't remember. Yeah, I extended the layout because I moved the swing ship over there into that new area. This area over here is also where I thought about adding the carousel. Maybe have it like up over here, or even clear out some of that path and have it literally in the middle. But I think I'm going to end up putting it over there. So yeah, it's got the layout changes as soon as this part happens, where it used to go like over into that, and now it goes over here, does some turns. Actually has a tunnel now, which I think is kind of cool. Just some more hills. And then it goes the opposite direction for this section, and then I think it also ends up hitting the brake run a lot more organically. And yeah, that's that. Pretty good stats still. 7 moments of airtime for inversions, negative 3.3, so very intense ejector air. Probably too much ejector air, but Planet Coaster is okay with the physics, and so am I. Alright, biggest thing that I have done in the non-recording sessions is El Serpiente is now a completely different roller coaster. There's elements of it that I kept the same, but overall it's not the same ride that it was. It's now a intimate wing coaster like Sky Rush, and it's intense as hell. So where I once had a gigantic turnaround, I now have this little tiny section right here where you hug the ground, and entering these small sections where you'd get probably insane amounts of airtime. I have a trim right here. It doesn't really do much of anything because this hill right here is insane. The stats on this are really good. You also get 6.57 positive G-forces, and that's all right here, which is why I added this trim brake. And you get negative 3.2 ejector airtime, which is a lot. Not as much as the RMC has, but still a lot. And yeah, there are some hills on this where I thought were just oddly shaped, so I ended up turning some of those into inversions. So this ride I think has 3 altogether. First inversion is right here. I replaced the turnaround with this Immelman loop. The second one is right here with this kind of a 0G dive, corkscrew dive, whatever you want to call it. Where, oh, hit some lag there for a split second, but that makes sense. This area has a lot of scenery. Look, I added trees. It looks a lot better now. So yeah, it does that, and then it dives underneath. Does that, and then it hits another corkscrew thing. This one's more of a traditional corkscrew. And then it kind of hits what the layout did before. This section right here, I still don't really like. I'm kind of trying to figure out a way to make it smoother, because as it is now, I don't really like it. The G's are really high, but I don't know how else to end the ride. But I'll fiddle with it. I'll get it there. Alright, nothing with this. Pyramid's still not done. It'll be done one day when I really feel like doing it. The train station I have moved over here. I don't remember if I did that before. Look, if I'm redundant at all from anywhere between now and the end of the video, I'm sorry. Anyways, train station is over here. I like it better now. It's the entrance for this side. You go underneath it. It's pretty cool. Yay! There's a gap. I haven't fixed this section, but my plan is to add entrance stuff over here. Like there's going to be an area with lockers and stroller rentals and guest services building, which will be actually underneath here, right as you enter. I actually may have a little bit out. There's a restroom here, and I think that's a staff building that you can't get to anymore because I moved this building. There's still that for it, but you can't actually get to it. Yeah, so I redid that and that. There's these supports that go through the building, and guess what I'm going to do with it? Ignore it. It's fine. I like it. Over here at, gosh, what's this thing's name now? Shoot the Curls. This thing has had 5 names, I think. It was Dominator for a little bit, then it was Kanaloa, then it was Wave Breaker, and now it's this. I think that's only 4 names. I can't count. But yeah, this thing got moved over a bit. A lot of it. But I like it better. I think it looks a lot nicer. It's a bit weird because instead of having like another inversion after the loop, I just have it doing this wide turn. I want it to be a little bit different. And then after that, it pretty much just follows the same layout that it did before. I did consider adding an Immelman right here. I decided not to. My other idea was to move the Cobra roll from over there to over here. But I thought that having a Cobra roll as a second inversion, or second and third inversions, was dumb, and they take up too much space, so in the end it probably wouldn't have fit anyways, because this goes directly over 2 stations, train station and the actual station for it. So that's not going to work. The drop has been tweaked again to get it to work better. It's a pretty big drop, pretty big loop. It's a good ride. The ending is the same until you hit the brakes. It used to just do this little turn this way and then hit it. I realized that the clearance right over here was a bit close. That's one reason why I have moved it. And now it just hits this little brake run, then kind of goes over there. It's a bit untraditional for B&M, but I've kind of already gone a bit untraditional already, so I've decided that it's fine. It's by park and I'll do what I want. The Big Kahuna I haven't done anything with. It still has the custom supports that were done by Alex, and he did a good job. I did these ones though. I did the A-frames. They're not perfect. Those should actually go all the way down to the bottom, but I'm not going to because train station, and I'm going to go with that's why they're not like that. And this one right here does go all the way to the bottom because it's not in the way of anything. Wipeout is the same. I have this little splash boats right here that's actually a water coaster. And I really hope that in the next update they add a traditional shoot the chutes ride so I can replace it with that, because I don't want to have to do all of these effects myself. It doesn't sound fun at all. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this episode. It's nice to finally be back in here and being able to show you guys what I have done. So stay tuned for next. I'll probably upload just a plain POV of El Serpiente once I'm a bit happier with the smoothing. So stay tuned for that. But anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.